Hi BookTube, how are you doing? My name is Juan, I am just one reader, and I am coming to you with my September TBR, but I want this TBR to be different. I usually have a kind of rigid, semi-rigid, pretty clear and very well structured TBR for every month, but this time I want to mix it up. I want to make it different. I want to make it more interactive with you guys. So what I would really like is for you guys to see and hear all the options that I have and maybe leave a comment down below and let me know which ones would you read. If you were me and you had these options available, what would you choose? So I would like for your help choosing, or rather curating, my TBR. I'm really sure that all of the books that I have chosen are really great, but I would love to have your input. So there are only two books that I know I will be reading in September, and the first one is The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, which I am slowly making my way into, and the other one is Brewster's Millions. This is a book that we will be body reading along with Steve. Steve kind of commanded. He heralded us into reading this in a body read with him. It's a bunch of people. I have never done a body read before, and I am super into that idea. I don't have a physical copy of this book. I will be reading it in my Kindle. So I will be reading Brewster's Millions in that body read and The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. And now I have 8 options that I would love to share with you guys. And hopefully you can give me some of your ideas, some of your input, so that I can make a better decision at curating my TBR. So these are the options. Firstly, we need to talk about Kevin by Lionel Shriver. I remember watching and loving the movie, but more than loving the movie, I think I was really fascinated by the movie and by the concept of this mother and the relationship between mother and son, which I remember the movie really exploring in a very interesting way. It's a very psychoanalytical kind of premise, to be honest, so I will probably read this, but I would like to hear your thoughts on it. Another one that I would like to read is what's the title? Summer Lightning. So this book is a big compilation of works by P.G. Wodehouse, and I have read one of them, but now I feel like I want to read another one. And so the next one is Summer Lightning. And so yeah, I just really loved P.G. Wodehouse's writing. It was so whimsical and elegant, and it was pretty much like Downton Abbey, but Downton Abbey with it was kind of a mix between Downton Abbey and Roald Dahl, and something incredibly cynical and funny and satirical, and oh yeah, I loved P.G. Wodehouse, so I am inclined to picking up the next one in here. Another option that I have is The Orphan Master Son by Adam Johnson. This is a novel set in, I think, North Korea or something like that, something related to that. I know that this won the Pulitzer. It's a big deal. And I also know that Adam Johnson is a terrific writer. He has this novel out and also a collection of short stories that was actually one of my favorite books that I read last year. The, what's its title? Fortune Smiles. It's a wonderful collection, and his writing really blew me out of the water. Really great. So another option is his very well acclaimed novel. The next option that I have is The Little Stranger by Sarah Waters. I partly want to read this now because I hear there's a movie adaptation coming out soon. I don't know exactly when it's coming out. I think it has Domhnall Gleeson starring in it. I'm not sure. I haven't even seen the trailers, but I heard a rumor that this might be adapted soon. So I do want to read it before the movie comes out. The premise sounds spooky and weird, but very character-driven. And I have read Sarah Waters previously this year, actually. I think my first book that I read in 2018 was Fingersmith by her, and I loved her writing. It was really atmospheric and fun, so that's another one. The next one is another winner of the Pulitzer Prize and of many awards, The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. I just suddenly got the urge to read this book because I recently rewatched the movie 12 Years a Slave, and I just kind of, had this fascination stirred up within me of reading these types of stories, and it is the winner of a Pulitzer Prize, and I have yet to come across a review that doesn't love this book. Another book that I will probably end up reading just because I've been wanting to read for the longest time is Jonathan Safran Foer's novel, Everything is Illuminated. This is the story of this man who goes on a quest to find stuff out about his family's history and what happened to them during the Holocaust in Europe. So that sounds fun, and I remember that I watched the movie adaptation featuring Elijah Wood like a gazillion years ago, and I was really captivated by it, but I don't really remember the plot. So, I think I'm gonna like it, but I don't really remember the plot. Another book that I will probably end up reading is The Girl Who Fell Beneath Fairyland and Led the Revels there. This is by Catherine M. Valente. It is the second book in the Fairyland series, and I have just now been reading the first one, The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland in a Ship of Her Own Making. What's up with this woman and her really long titles, right? So this is the second book, and I will probably continue reading the series in September, which, it's completely apropos considering that September is the name of the protagonist of the series. Excuse me. And finally, the other option that I have, I highly doubt that many of you or most of you will have heard of this book because it's not available in English. It was originally written in German. So the title of the book is El Círculo del Crepúsculo, El Niño del Siglo. It's translated to Spanish, but it's actually a German novel. It's actually the first installment in a German series. It's a series of 4 books. And the title of the series is El Círculo del Crepúsculo, which would translate to something like The Circle of Dawn or The Circle of Twilight. And it is a set of historical fiction novels with a fantasy twist. So basically, it's supposed to be really mysterious and really adventure-packed, filled with action and twists on historical events that actually happened, but with a fantasy twist element to it. And yeah, this is the first installment. It has not been translated to English as far as I'm concerned. But I do have the complete series in Spanish, so that's another option. Those are all the options for my September TBR. Please gather your thoughts and leave your comments down below so that I can have a better, more curated TBR. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your help.